let's turn on the machine and see if the fuse blows. It better not, because then I'll be at a bit of a loss. Excellent. Whoa, not excellent. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Okay, part 2 of Stern Magic commence. I didn't do much yesterday because I had to play soccer. I didn't had to, I wanted to. And tomorrow I'm heading to Maple Pinball for a 3-day pinball event. So I gotta make some progress on this guy tonight, and that is what I'm going to try to do. I've been thinking about this insert hole here on a side note, and if you recall from my last project, I didn't want to hardtop my Electra upper playfield because it would have required me to remove 9 inserts, rollover inserts, and reset them and all that good stuff. So that means that I actually have some rollovers that I can use. The trick is to try and get these out. I've removed inserts that have had kind of loose glue. I haven't tried ones that are perfectly happy and perfectly flush before. So I'm going to try the hair dryer, heat it up method and kind of bang it out. I'll snip off the little fins because I have new fins that I can stick in there. So that is my thoughts on the 2 incorrect rollover inserts. That I'm probably not going to fudge with tonight, though. I kind of want to see how far I can get along with setting this thing up and actually getting it to power on potentially. It's kind of the more fun stuff. The insert stuff will be kind of fun as well to a lesser degree, but I have never done it before, so it'll be a learning experience. Anyway, before I go ahead and set this machine up, I have to deal with some of these connectors that are looking a little sketchy, and especially I need to install a couple more T-nuts. I only got 1 out of 4, and I did manage to find an additional T-nut, so that means I have 3, and I think I can live with that. Here's one I found. This must have come out of another machine. I found it in this little handy drawer right here. It'd be nice if I had another one, and if I feel the need to get another one, I shall. So maybe I'll add a little glue, bang these guys in, then add the head bolts and make sure that they're like straight, because if you put them in crooked, that's just going to be a problem. So I had to deal with my nuts and before I can really do much else. So I will report back shortly. Okay, so first things first, I had to rig up a wire here, hold up my playfield. So this makes the playfield underside very accessible, and the cabinet, so I can go ahead and repin this connector with the burnage. Like, I'm going to replace this whole housing too, and I'll do this guy as well, probably just because I can. And I did screw these 2 guys back in, but now I think the reason that they might have been unscrewed is for someone to access the rectifier board. Maybe there's been some work done to it. And also there is your typical white fuzz on a lot of these metals. Like, it just likes to attract to certain metals, not others, but I don't know if this is aluminum, but all these types of metals are covered in white fuzz, which is not a problem, but I'm gonna maybe try and Like, even the knocker. Like, what is that? Is that from poor storage? Is that like condensation stuff? I feel like it's like condensation caused. Drop target bank. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I was going to, I was looking at whether I wanted to remove these corner pieces because my longer leg bolts are kind of bending them, and it could put a strain on the threads for the T nut there, or leg T. So I was looking at it, and then I looked over on this side, and look what I found. The original rollover. Oh, it's broken. One of these fins, can you see, is broken. But, haha, I can't use it, unfortunately, but let's compare. I don't see how it could possibly be a different size, because this has got to be something that's been pretty standard across pinball machines. It looks, if I can like fit in the fins in the upside down position, then I think we are good. Look at that. So that should work, just a matter of trying to get it out. Can we even like just jam it in this hole for fun? Yeah, look at that. Perfect. So that's like a little practice right there. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna start dealing with some connectors and then start testing some voltages. That will be the next step. Look who came to visit. Hey buddy, it's Hank on Princess. Well, I figured you'd probably pop around today, say hi. What, you're stalling the action. Time to get to work. Okay, making some progress, a little bit here and a little bit there. This is the stuff I pulled out of the cabinet. Part of a switch, miscellaneous hardware, piece of plastic. Nothing too interesting. There's some evidence of some repinning at some point. That's a old terminal, or just an old broken terminal. And then 5 balls for 10 cents. I think this does not belong. Okay, so I have repinned the two J1 and J2 connectors on the rectifier board, and you can see there that that's going to go here. This one honestly didn't really need to be repinned, but since I was doing its brother, I figured I'd do them both. So they will go like so. Ow. Stabbed myself on J3, you little bugger. And I checked all the fuses. I removed several of them that were not correct. I did get rid of that quick connect that was on the one wire here, and wired that back up for the speaker and volume pot. And then you may not be able to tell, but I cleaned up the cabinet with the vacuum. There is a lot less dust and dirt and crust. I didn't do the front yet because of this. But here is the old connectors, the quick connect, and the fuses. And I also just randomly found this. It is another T-nut for a bally head, according to my writing. It's a bit different of a style. It's one with the little spiral nails as opposed to the fins. So between all of those T-nuts, I should be able to make something happen. And then I took a look over at the wiring harness, and it's not as bad as I thought. As a matter of fact, the only thing I see is this weird 3 wires that come from this harness get tied into 3 wires from this harness. And I'm almost wondering if that's factory, because why would anyone do that? I guess we got orange, black, and orange, black on this side, white, orange, and white, orange on this side. And this is the only one that is a little bit off, well, a lot off. White, brown versus black, blue. So, this is so very random, it makes me think that it's possibly factory. So I'm going to maybe post that and see if anyone from the Pinball Repair Help Group can chime in on that. But I think I am going to retape it up for now and then start working on my T-nuts. Then I can put on the head. Then I can connect everything. By that time I might have an answer on this. And yeah, might be able to turn the machine on and see what happens, hopefully. But we still got to do a lot before that happens, but that's where I'm at. Also, on a side note, this is not good news. PinWiki appears to not be working today. Hopefully that comes back, because I rely heavily on PinWiki, and so does the rest of the pinball world. So it is the Bible for pinball repair. Anyway, hopefully that comes back online. Let's hit refresh for fun and just see. Nope. Alright, I think I have successfully installed 2 T-nuts. So I have 3 in total now. This T-nut doesn't really fit too well because it's hitting the side, the back of the cabinet. And in a home environment, 2 to 3 head bolts is usually sufficient, so hopefully they line up okay. But that means it is time to install the head, so let's do some time lapse. Okay, so that went pretty smooth overall. 3 head bolts in there, nice and snug. A bit of a broken ground strap here. I'll sort that out. And then this is the connector that feeds into the neck that goes to, this is J3 on the rectifier board, the big dude. And here is the speaker wire. So look what I found here. Damage. Oh, it's getting to be dry season. My hands are going to get so dry. This is just the beginnings. But it's starting. It is the end of November. Yeah, so I am going to have to repair this. The problem I have is that these connectors here, I think, are the 0.93 or 96 variety. And I have those, but not in this wire gauge. I have like the bigger wire gauge. So I will have to figure something out, but that will need addressing. And I've been peeling off all these stickers on all the connectors and boards. Someone's labeled it so they remember where to put it back together again. But I don't want them. I don't need them. And they're ugly, so vacuumed the neck area out as well. See any more? Oh, look at this. What is going on here? All kinds of more tape. Oh, so that's like holding the screw in place. Okay, I will reconnect this wire, these wire clips wherever they need to go, and then remove this extra tape as well. We don't need that. Why is this one here? Oh yeah, holding another screw to the wire clip. Okay, so we're getting close. I think I'll start plugging in stuff We won't worry about the sound right now and see if we get some good voltages. Okay, I got that sorted out with all the tape there holding the screws. It was this, someone at some point thought that this had to be removed in order to take off the head. So this was unscrewed here and here and here and there and there. And I had to kind of finagle all that back into where it needed to go. And I think I got it sorted out, so it's pretty comfy all in all. And now that that's taken care of, I think it's time to check out that rectifier board. There's all the shrapnel. Oh, almost forgot, this is the ground wire. So it was broken from here, so I just moved the screw back a bit and tied it into the back plane, and then somewhere down here is the ground strap. Come on. And then I can tie that into there, and then everybody is happy. All right, I guess it's time for power. So just in case anything dramatic happens, I'll bring you along for the ride. Hopefully there's no ride to speak of. I don't know if the power switch is on or off. So, okay, let's plug this in, and then we'll look over there really quick. Okay. Probably powered off. I've got everything disconnected in the back, so let's hit the switch. Oh, see that? F4 blew instantly. Okay, well. We are going to have to figure out what that does and why that did that. So, until I figure that out, that could be a bad bridge on the rectifier board, but the fuse that was on there before was not blown. So that's curious. So I'm going to look into this and see what I can figure out. Okay, so the schematics here are telling me that pin 3 on this connector J1 is a spare. I've got blue-white connected there, but it says blue-white should be connected to pin 6. So I'm wondering if I need to move this wire over to pin 6. This is the way it was when I got it and the fuse wasn't blown. So I tested the bridges. They seem to be testing fine. So I thought it would be fun to finally bust out my fuse breaker that I bought a set of and I've never used, and I just tried to solder a fuse to it. The legs, so you plug the whole thing in, but that was not going well. So I'm going to try and alligator clip it. I don't think these wires are probably rated for this 43 volts. Oh, did I tell you? This is like solenoid voltage. Yeah, where is that? F4 is the fuse, and it is 43 volts. But yeah, so that's why I ended up at that point, because 43 volts, test point 5, takes me up to blue-white wire. So that's how I ended up down that path. And then also pin 2 should be green on this connector, and it is. And what else? Go down here. Oh, then we get like 3 more things. We got a relay, ZC input, which stands for zero crossing, and solenoid bus white yellow on pin 13 of J3. White yellow. Is it this guy? I know it's hard to see, but anyway, these are the tangents I'm going down. So for fun, I'm going to turn on the machine and see if my wires melt or my fuse breaker goes off. Do I have to push it down? Not sure what's going on there. Maybe I'll pop in another fuse and see if it blows again. That was the reason I added this, so I didn't have to go down that road, but either this just isn't making good enough connection. I mean, that's possible. I can like try and adjust that, I guess. Try that one more time. It doesn't seem to be making my fuse breaker do anything, so. All right, well, I guess I'll throw in a fuse and see what else I can figure out. Okay, fuse is changed, and one other part of the equation that I forgot to mention is that I did disconnect the solenoid driver. So maybe the solenoid driver is blowing our fuse. Is that possible? Make sure none of this is touching each other. On the lamp driver, it's several of these transistors touching, so, or silicon controlled rectifiers, if you want to call it by the correct name. Okay, well, new fuse installed. I'm assuming it's just going to blow, but I want to test my theories. Okay, it did not blow. So, should I sacrifice a fuse, plug in the solenoid driver, and then try again? Then we know for sure what is causing the issue. I think I'm willing to sacrifice the 50 cents. So I will turn this off. I guess I can just do this right here, right now. Plug that guy in. Which way are you going? Plug this guy in. Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, all you Americans out there. 3 football games. Also, World Cup soccer. 3 games today as well. I watched Brazil kick some butt, so that was fun. But I digress. Okay, if this blows, then I'd kind of be happy, because then I at least know what's going on. Yeah, all right, there we go. So we know something on the solenoid driver is bad on the 43 volt line. Okay, excellent. We're discovering things and figuring things out. So I'll be back with a new solenoid driver board. All right, before I run up and get a solenoid driver board, we must check our rectifier voltages. All right, so I got my handy dandy schematics here. And test point 1 is giving us 6.1, which is perfect. Test point 2, that is supposed to be 230 volts. It's 190. Okay, I'm happy with that. Test point 3 is 11 volts. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry about that. Here we go. I'll start all over. See? 1 is 6, 2 is 190, and 3 is 12 volts. So far, so good. Test point 4, I believe, is our AC voltage. So let's jump to test point 5, which is 39 volts, which is wonderful. We're supposed to be at 43 volts. I got a new fuse in there. It's happy. Go over to our AC voltage, which is supposed to be 7.3 on test point 4, and boom, everybody is happy on this board. So now I'll probably go grab my Alltech solenoid driver, which is known working. Then we can bypass testing all that out and go straight to the CPU. Okay, that guy's installed and plugged in. So let's turn on the machine and see if the fuse blows. It better not, because then I'll be at a bit of a loss. Excellent. Whoa, not excellent. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that I'm not really sure what that means. That means that I need to figure it out. So I will be back hopefully with a solution. On a side note, this capacitor did not like what just happened. It warmed up quite a bit. So hopefully, what about this guy? Everything else seems okay. But this guy did not like that at all. So I don't know, maybe it is, my connector is my blue-white wire. Maybe that's wrong somehow. I don't understand how that would be the case, but I'll be back. Okay, so I've tried a couple things and not having any luck. I did move the blue-white wire over to pin 6 and then tested all the voltages, and they're all great. But as soon as I plug in that solenoid driver, I keep blowing fuses. And I was trying to use my fuse breaker, but I don't think it's working through the jumper wires. And I think it's actually causing, continuity to stay, and thereby really heating up this cap. So I don't trust my fuse breaker at the moment the way I had it hooked up. So this is where I'm going to finish tonight. I did also try and disconnect the CPU and the soundboard and the lamp driver, but I'm kind of stuck right now in this spot. So hopefully I can sleep on it and come back to it after the weekend, because I got to go play in like 4 pinball tournaments on the weekend over at Maple Pinball, so I'll be doing that. And yeah, that'll be fun. So until I get back, sayonara, we'll see you on the other side, and hopefully we can figure this crap out.